is Education Sector Television International, ESTV. Good afternoon to you all. I welcome you to another program, One Citizen of Greater Values. And this afternoon, I am with a visionary thinker, an entrepreneur par excellence. My guest has seen it all. He uses his skills to develop others, contributing to the growth and economic development of Nigeria through education. Do join me to welcome Mr. Tim Akano, the Managing Director Chief Executive of New Horizon System Technology. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good
Nice to have you.
My pleasure. I feel honored to have you today.
Same here. Thank you very much.
The end justifies the means.
Thank you very much.
So can we set the ball rolling, sir?
Okay.
Okay. My very first question, can we get to know you better, Mr. Tim Akano?
Madam, once again, it's my pleasure to have you here today. My name, like you said, is Tim Akano. I'm the CEO and founder of New Horizons Nigeria. New Horizons Nigeria is a franchise of New Horizons US, and we've been around for almost 20 years in Nigeria, but globally, New Horizons International has been around for the past 45 years. We are the largest in the world, and we exist in 90 countries. In Nigeria, we're also the largest by God's grace. We train over 100,000 students every year across different universities, secondary schools, corporate, and Nigerian and Nigerian government. Before now, I used to be an executive of Coca-Cola. Before Coca-Cola, I worked in Dunlop Tires. Before Dunlop Tires, I worked in Unilever. So I worked in 3 multinationals together. And after some time, I spent 17 years in 3 multinationals, Unilever, Dunlop, and Coca-Cola system. I told myself I wanted to solve a problem for Nigeria. I used to be what people call social critic. I used to be a follower of Tyson and those things. But as I aged, I realized that just identifying a problem, precisely putting in the newspaper, does actually not solve that problem. I sat down one day and I thought to myself, at the end of my life, what will I tell God that I've done in this opportunity I have? So I set out to solve one problem for Nigeria. By the time we started New Horizon 19 years ago, the problem of shortage of IT skill was so prevalent, especially in the banks. I remember there was a time we met Madam CI, who was the CEO of Oceanic Bank in those days, so wanted to get business from her. First thing she told us that no, don't talk about business. I'm looking for people that you train that can work in this bank from day one. So that was a challenge to me, and that was the problem we set out to solve. So as at that time, IT people hardly spend 6 months in an organization because you are in high demand and they are in short supply. So but with consistency for the past 19 years, I make bold to say that we've trained about 2 million Nigerian youths in the last 20 years, and that problem of IT shortage that Nigeria had 20 years ago, we don't have that problem again today. So the objective we set out to solve just one problem. We didn't set out to solve 2 problems. Just say one problem out of Nigerian problems. We identified it and we decided that we are going to solve that problem. So we took IT to kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, universities, and even to the corporate organization. So today, there is no organization in Nigeria that will say, oh, I don't have enough IT. If you don't have enough IT, within 1 hour or 2 hours, we have full of competent people that we can give to any organization.
Beautiful. You mentioned 2 million youths.
Yes, over
in
a
the past
period
17 years.
90 years.
Yes, what are these products and services?
For IT is a very wide space. So we have some people, software programmers, we have some people, hardware engineers, we have some people, cyber security professionals, we have some people, networking professionals. So right now, there is what we call the 4th industrial revolution skills. So these 4th industrial revolution skills, they are very high, I call them all potato skills. They are in very high demand globally today. We have things like data science, we have things like artificial intelligence, we have things like DevOps engineers, we have things like cyber security, we have things like IoT, Internet of Things. All these are hot skills that are in high demand globally today, and we all train them here in universities.
Do you get feedbacks from your students?
Oh, absolutely yes.
Can you share some of this experience?
Okay, for instance, one of the boys that we train here. I was with him on the phone yesterday, Shola and Shola. Shola was a student I picked from Bowen University. Because I do visit university, and I pick some of them to mentor directly, direct mentorship. That is a lifelong relationship I have with students. So Shola and Shola, I picked him directly from the university. I put him here, gave him industrial attachment opportunity. When he finished, gave him a job here, trained him here. When he left here, he went to e-transfer as a software engineer. When he left e-transfer, he went to Mastercard. He became a software director after 7 years of graduation from Bowen University in Mastercard in Kenya. So about a year ago, he called me and said, "Sir, I'm now in Czech Republic." As I last week called me now, he's in Czech Republic now. He's a software director for Microsoft in Czech Republic. So that's one of my success stories. Another one is Edward. Edward is a software, cybersecurity director now for e-transfer. I trained Edward here. I picked him directly from Bangkok University. I trained him, gave him the opportunity to do attachment, gave him job after the NYC, and today he's a very top person. He's the one protecting e-transfer business in Nigeria today. Another one which is also mentoring my own children today is Samuel. I picked Samuel directly from Bowen University. That way he's even a bit luckier than the rest. I put him in my house, so I gave him part of my baby to say when he came to Lagos for NYC. Today, Samuel has set up a multi-million-dollar business in Silicon Valley. So my children are with him now in Silicon Valley office. Now the one also died my own children. So Samuel, the day I met his mother was after 10 years of meeting Samuel. So the smile I saw in the mother's face can never leave me for the rest of my life.
Wow.
So he said, "I am a local boy from Akwa Ibom. You made my son to be a global champion." So those are the things that we gain.
So that doesn't mean you now work, you have a kind of collaboration with tertiary institutions in Nigeria. And I've seen you mention like 3 private universities. Do you have a collaboration system with them? And why not government universities as well?
Okay, for private universities, yes, we have a long-term relationship with them. For instance, all students of Akano University will train them, whether you are doing nursing, whether you are doing medicine, whether you are doing computer science, whether you are doing technology, whatever you are doing. Our program is part of their curriculum in the sense that IT is the center of gravity for anything anybody wants to do globally today. IT is at the center. Even if you're a medical doctor, if you are ICT deficient, you are not going to be an international doctor.
So ICT is a prerequisite.
Is the hub that drives
embraces of
every other profession. Even if you are studying religious studies, you still need IT to be able to put that you're preaching on YouTube. You still need digital marketing to be able to get your message all over the world. So some universities are very smart and they've seen that, and that's why the university like Bangkok, they always have more than enough students at every year, because every parent wants their kid to go to where they have the best opportunity. So we're in over 25 private universities in Nigeria right now. We have relationship with Bowen University, we have relationship with Bangkok, we have relationship with Redeemer University. Over 25
private universities.
Private university. We are also in UNILAG right now.
Okay.
We set out from UI the challenge with private university until this present government came was that every student who went to public university had at the back of his or her mind to have free education.
Okay.
And so any attempt by government to ask them to pay something as small as 5,000 for extra skill, so will be resisted by them. So the only government that I need to do it successfully is this current government, Tinubu government. And that's okay, university, private, public university now can charge fees. But before he came, it was almost impossible.
They wanted everything.
They wanted everything free, and everything that is free of value. If you have a product that is 100% free, it's also free of value. So everything that has value has a cost. So what we do, the people we employ, we have to pay them salary. The people that own the franchise in the US, we have to pay them royalties for their patents that we use in Nigeria. So all those things come with cost.
So everything must be paid for.
Everything must be paid for. The only thing we do is that what will cost them something like 500,000. For instance, now you want to learn data science in the UK, everybody can Google it, is 4,000 pounds sterling in the UK. You can imagine. No, per the course, not per annum, just 6 months
for the duration of
for the duration of that course.
4,000 per annum.
4,000.
Oh, sorry, for the duration.
For the duration, 4,000 pounds. If you go to Canada, it's about $5,000. You go to Europe, it's about $5,000 in US also. So, but in Nigeria, if they come here, we give it to them like around 500,000, something that will cost 10 million or 8 million in UK. So we have people, Nigerians who have migrated to UK, who still, we train them here in Nigeria.
Okay.
But when we go to university, this thing we give it to them as peanuts. Because for me, the objective from day one is not commercial. The objective is that I want to live my life to achieve at least some
your set goals.
Yeah, my set goals for Nigeria. So commercial is just to break even, to pay for the AC, to pay for the staff, to pay for all those. If I enter into the business for commercial, from commercial mind, I will not be able to make as much impact as I'm making today.
So, is there any way you can do more to create values for public university, like state public university or federal public university, allowing them to see the values inherent in what you do and the reason why they have to pay some little amount to achieve these values?
I think one of the things we are doing that it's a level is that I'm also a major partner to NYSC. If you see 4 of the awards here, that one from the table is from the DG of NYSC in Abuja. Okay. This one is from Lagos State, coordinator of NYSC. Okay. So I'm also a partner to NYSC. So we do take NYSC people every year, and we have a scholarship program for them, so that makes them to enjoy what their colleagues who went to private university enjoy at the same price, at a very minimal price. So we have that, and by the time they've left public universities and they've entered the world, as they tell them, now they are more matured, so their level of resistance is almost nil. So because they now realize that they need this skill. So when we go to NYSC to talk to them, we don't need to stress ourselves, because they also know that without that they cannot fly anywhere in the world.
But at the NYSC level, sir, they must have left the institution. I'm not looking at the situation whereby you can catch them here, maybe a year, so giving them the benefits, the technical knowledge, the reason why they should be part of that system, and the reason why they should study their parents to be. I'm really looking into that for opportunity, where they embrace the right on time and just utilize the opportunity like the way the private university does.
That's a possibility. We, as we speak now, we're actually building a center in Unilag.
Okay.
We realize that the time is ripe enough now for us to also build the public university. So we are building a center as we speak now, which should open by September. So we also will work smarter, work harder to ensure that we also bring in more public universities. The public university decision-taking process is quite different from the decision-taking process in private universities. In private university, once they see the value, it's far easier for them to arrive at the conclusion. In public institutions, it's more difficult for them to arrive at the conclusion, because there are always, there are so many champions inside the public universities who compete and defend their spaces. So that in itself brings some level of complications. So we are patient people, because the goal, like I said, has not shifted. The goal is to ensure that the youth in Nigeria can compete effectively with their counterparts in US, in Europe, and that it's not just Indians that IT is giving to them. No. Nigerian youth too, they have the same brain, the same capacity to compete and compete the Indians and Chinese and Americans.
So, is there any way you also think as a visionary leader for our senior secondary students, if not the total secondary students? If you go into some of their languages, let's take the ICT languages to us, it is virtual ANC, and they will call it an ICT. Majority of them will leave their secondary school without even touching or working on the computer. Is there any way You believe something can be done for those category of people, maybe from SS1 to SS2 and SS3, before they start taking everything to tertiary institution.
I'm sure. For instance, as we speak today, we're in about 150 high schools in Nigeria. We're in about 100, new rising is in about 150 secondary schools across Nigeria. Again, these are also private. But for public, what we do is that, for instance, last year, I had a program that I sponsored for the students of agri in high school, with the youth corporates that I mentor. So we had a week for them where we exposed them to IT. So we took our equipment there and then we took our instructor there. So such exists, but again, it is not on the large scale, because on the large scale it requires more resources. What I can tell people is that, your listeners, is that for people who also want to make impact on Nigeria without just criticizing, it's so easy to find faults in Nigeria. If you want to sit down to find fault all your life, I told myself 20 years ago, I'm not going to spend all my life to find faults in Nigeria. Rather than find fault, I'll pick one problem and then solve that problem. And that's what I've done for 20 years.
And it's working.
So that's why you see about in this year alone, I've got a recommendation about 50 institutions. All these are all here. In the last 10 years, I've been recommending about 200 institutions across Africa, not just Nigeria, for all we do. But in Nigeria, in the last 2 months, I've been recommending about 50 institutions, including lifetime achievement and executive, which took place just last
And
week.
you've not taken the quota of what the nation requires.
No, we've not, because it requires more resources. You see, Nigeria, 52% of the population is youth. 52% of 220 million is youth. So we are talking about 130 million youths, and you are talking of we've done 2 million out of that in 20 years. We can do 5 million. We can do, for instance, World Bank just engaged us now to train 1,000 for them. World Bank is paying for that. So these are the kind of things the elites also can do. The elite can say, okay, every year I will devote money to bring out 100 out of poverty. I will devote my resources to bring out 20 out of poverty. On my own, I go to NYC every year and I take 10 of them. The two you see here now, they are youth corpus, Epuka and Mojisola. So every year I take 10, those 10 youth corps members, I polish them, turn them into diamonds. I help them to get training here free of charge. After the training, those who want to go to school, we sit down together to plan their next school. Those who want to work, we sit down together to look for a job for them. Those who want to travel, I see them, they want to go to Canada or US or everything. I do this for 10. I can't do more than 10 as an individual.
Additional values.
Yes, create additional value. I call it NYC Plus. I started that. NYC is just for me to give them job. But after some time, I started again. If they just come here and I can't influence their life, I can't transform them. I've not been faithful to the opportunity God has given me. So I just decided that, okay, I'll call it NYC Plus. I am their referee for any university they want to go abroad. It means I'll write the referee for them. We search for the university together where I know people, I link them up, and it's been working very well.
Do you pay for them?
No, I don't pay fully, but I support them. Yes, for instance, Faith is in South Korea now. She got a 100% full scholarship to go to South Korea for her masters. So, but we did everything in this same office.
Through your support?
Through my support. Everything from day one. Once I pick those 10, all we do is, what do you want to become in life? And I start working with them on those things they want to become. So these are opportunities for everybody to play a role. Government can't do everything. So when people just sit down, okay, Tinubu is this. But in our own space, what are we doing with that, with the opportunities God has given us? If God gives me more opportunities to do more than 10, I'll do more than 10. Sure. But for today, my capacity is 10 because it requires a lot of attention. Some of them have, like I call them my children, my daughter. That one is in Ibadan. Last week, he called me. She was standing so low. I said, why are you depressed? He said, yeah, I'm not just feeling happy. I said, okay. Do you want to take ice cream? She started smiling. He said, yes. I said, I'll send money for ice cream. And immediately I transferred 20,000. I said, go and buy ice cream. So in the next 10 minutes, he sent me a picture, smiling face. So as little as that, some of them need that attention. So, but when I take those 10, I know that I have to give them that attention. Because they are little things. Some of them, they have their parents are not in a position to be of help to them. Some of them come from a home that even the parents don't even know ABCD. So I feel that role for them.
At this point, let me pause and say thank you very much
For
creating values to this great country. And I wish many of you outside there, like Mr. Tim Akano, can also follow suit and create values to our less privileged in the society. Sir, let us continue. Now, I want to look at a situation whereby, as useful as ICT is, we also have some people abusing the space of ICT. Several thousands of our children are on there, carrying their laptops, their phone around, using it on a negative side. I don't think they ever know there's anything other valuable other than to use it to mitigate or to fall into crime. What do you have to tell this category of youth outside there, wasting their time and their lives away? And at the end of the day, they end up where they are not supposed to be.
It's about information. The youth, you see, when there are no vacuum in nature, when they have the brain, so once the society does not put correct information inside of it, and when I mean society, all of us, for instance, parents, teachers in school, and the society at large. So once we allow that space to be empty, the devil can put anything inside of it. For instance, one of my mentees, Samuel, called me about a month ago. He said, sir, do you know that some IT skill now in US, they're already paying $1 million per annum. $1 million per annum is like somebody earning 160 million per annum, equivalent in Nigeria. 160 million per annum in Nigeria is like somebody earning like 14 million naira per month. So, but how many youths are aware? Even for me too, until somebody told me, the last one I knew was that, okay, some of the people we've already trained that are abroad, they are earning about $300,000 per annum. And even $300,000 is a lot of money.
Sure.
There is no bank MD in Nigeria that is earning that. Even put like 4 bank MD together,
they don't
earn that much. So this is what I tell the youth when they come. For instance, when you came in now, you saw a father who came with his son. That's what happens to me every day. Parents bring their children
but
here.
How many of them knows that kind of?
How many of them, and how many of them can I even reach out to?
Okay.
That's where I said information is important for the society, that the youth doing the wrong thing, if they get to know that the money they are looking for the wrong way is also available the right way, that I'm going to. If they do yahoo, if they hack into people's account, they take money, they cannot take up to $1 million before they will catch them. It's no matter how smart you are as a hacker, you cannot steal up to $1 million on the instrumental basis before you be caught. And if you want to steal so much, your chances of failure is 99.999%. So the only chances of success they have is to be stealing small. But when they take it little, people don't they don't feel it.
They don't get to know.
They don't get to know. But when you do that, you cannot do up to $1 million before you are caught. And when you are caught, your life is wasted. Meanwhile, if you come here to learn data science, you can as well earn that $1 million. If you come here to learn DevOps engineering, you can as well earn that $1 million. If you come here to learn platform engineering, you can as well earn that $1 million. How long does it take you to learn? 1 year. 1 year you become professional. Once you are serious, you are not joking. 1 year you become a professional, and then it is as certain as day begets night that when you finish and you are serious, job is awaiting you. As at today, we have millions of vacancies in DevOps engineering, millions of vacancies in platform engineering, millions of vacancies in data science, millions of vacancies in business analysis. One of my daughter who left on Friday here, she resumed in transport today as we speak now. the father brought her about 18 months ago. So within 18 months, I baked her. So when she came on Friday, she was sitting down, I was sitting down there, said, Daddy, I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity, for trusting me. Now I've gotten something good and big in Transport Meeting Hotel. She resumed this morning. So I have this every hour, every moment, every day of my life. No, that gives me joy. I put her on my Facebook. If you go to Team @Facebook, you see her there. Her name is Pressure. She's from Plateau State. The day her father brought her here, she was so fragile that the father insisted that he must follow her to class. I said, no, you cannot go, you cannot follow her to class. So the father just left. So on Friday when she came, I said, is your father going to follow you to Abuja? And she started laughing. She said, no, I'm a strong girl now.
Yes.
And those are the things that make me to be happy and fulfilled.
It's good listening to you, sir. Let's go now to the broader education sector in Nigeria. Sir, if you are privileged to meet the Honorable Minister of Education in Nigeria, what will be your areas of priority, your areas of concern that you will let him know under 5 minutes?
I will tell the Minister of Education to change the curriculum. The curriculum we are using is obsolete.
The secondary or the
entire curriculum. Entire curriculum. If you see the German kids from our Japanese kids, because the focus of going to school in Nigeria, we just go to school for the sake of going to school. Every successful country, they have an objective for setting up their educational system. But everything starts from knowledge. If you go to Japan and Germany, for instance, from the time they are in nursery school, they've started introducing them to machine, because Japan is a manufacturing company, Germany is a manufacturing company. By the time they get to secondary school, they've already understood the chemical or mechanical components of how to build a truck.
The tools are there to work with.
The tools are there to work. They created the tool because they have the end in mind. In Nigeria, we've not set up any end in mind. So we are just doing trial and error until we set where do we want to compete, where do we want to have competitive advantage. So we can identify 5 areas. For instance, in South Korea, they identify 5 areas where they want to have competitive advantage. One is steel making, another one is electronics. Today, if you want to study electronics, the best country in the world today is not America, it's not China, it's South Korea.
Okay.
And that's why you see all those TV, they are all Samsung, they are all South Korea. From the time they are in nursery school, electronics is already embedded in the educational system.
Okay.
So the first thing we need to do is to sit down. Where do we want to compete as a nation? If it's entertainment, our curriculum must have that component inside of it from the time a child is in primary school.
And it should not be limited to a career.
And yes. So we can pick 5 areas. Entertainment can be one. Even if we want to compete in football in Brazil, football is in sport. Yes, thank you. Sport. Want to compete in sport, it has to be in our curriculum from the beginning. For instance, now we went to France. Now we came out with 0 gold, 0 silver, 0 bronze, 0 everything, because success is cumulative. It's not hard work. It follows a process. Failure is the only thing that has no process, but success has a process. So once you don't follow the process for success, you've already chosen failure. So for me,
that's the next alternative.
That's the next alternative. It has no process. Just do nothing or do something haphazard, then failure is assured. So I will tell the minister to first sit down with other stakeholders. Where do we want to compete? If it's agriculture we want to compete, it has to reflect in our curriculum. If it's we have a lot of mineral resources in Nigeria, so many of them, but mining is not at the core of our schooling, and mining has to be at the core of our schooling. Cooking now everywhere is mineral resources, natural everywhere is Chinese that are taking, because we don't even know what they are taking out of the ground, because we've not woken up to decide that where do we want to compete. We want to compete in the mineral resources, it has to be in our curriculum from the beginning. Want to compete in agriculture, it has to be in our mineral resources in our educational curriculum from the beginning. Want to compete in sports, in entertainment, so these are
even ICT.
Even ICT, want to compete in ICT, it has to be there. For instance, globally, Indians are the topmost level of most of those global IT organizations today, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Oracle, whether it's Cisco, whether it's Google. Indians are all over there. It wasn't by accident that Indians took over. In 1949, after their independence, the elites in India sat together and they asked themselves one question: where do we want to compete in future? Globally, that can bring us dollars. And they zero in on software engineering, and that was what led them to create IIT, Indian Institute of Technology. That's one of the most difficult institutions to enter in the world today. But the mothers and the son, they sit down to prepare for the child to enter, because you know that once your child enters, poverty is no more your portion in life. It has 100% sure, because before the child finishes in IIT, Google is already there waiting to take him. Microsoft is already there waiting to take him. Cisco is already there waiting to take him. Huawei is already there waiting to take him, because India as a country, they build resources, they build their strategy around that. The same way Turkey, all this furniture you see here, this is Turkey. It wasn't an accident. I asked the Turkey man who came to furnish this office, how come you guys overthrew Italy? You know, in those days it was Italian furniture. Everybody talks about Italian leather. But today you don't say Turkey furniture is inferior because they've already mastered it. He told me that in Turkey there is this, they've set up schools where furniture is in the curriculum, and that you spend 3 years there, you spend 6 months in school, 6 months in the factory. You go back again, 6 months in school, 6 months in the factory. You go back again, 6 months in school, 6 months in the factory. That's why they finish.
They acquire the practicals. They go to the class to do the theory. So both go for pursuit.
For 3 years.
For 3 years.
He said after then you are a master. So there is no Italian that can say go and sit down. That's why you don't. The finishing of the Turkish furniture is as good as Italian furniture. Go to the street now, you don't see Italian furniture again. Turkey has overthrown them. So they built a process around that, and everything starts from the curricula that you put in primary school, you put in secondary school, you put in higher institutions. We've not done that.
So the minister should try and choose the areas of priority.
We have to.
And leverage into the areas of
We
priority.
have to. There is no that.
Invest heavily on the areas of priority.
We have to. There is no that serious countries in the world that run the education system the way we run Nigeria. None. I've never seen any of the top 20 countries. When you see Turkey, what they want to become is what you see in their school. When you see India, what they want to become is what you see in their school. When you go to South Korea, what they want to become is what you see in their school. But in Nigeria, because we don't know what we want to become, everything is in our school.
We are another year or there.
We don't have to do half of what we are doing right now in school. Half of what we are doing currently, we don't have business in doing them.
Okay, so what next do you want the minister to do? Apart from changing the curriculum?
Well, another thing I've come to learn, I've been in this industry now for 20 years, besides the fact that I also went to school myself, is infrastructure. Nothing happens by accident. In Singapore, internet is like human rights. In Scandinavian country, internet is human right, the same way water is human right. So internet is free. In India, in the schools, internet is free. So we have to put infrastructure in place, that because what the system we operate makes things very expensive. Everybody has to dig his own ground and put internet cable there. Everybody has to buy this, buy that. So we have to know that when we have well-educated people, they also go ahead to develop the society. And for us to achieve that, we must make some investment. So our schools need modern infrastructure. As of today, we don't have modern infrastructure that can make our students to compete globally. So what now happens is that when they finish, they have to go and learn elsewhere before they can compete. So he has to put infrastructure in place.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir.
And then finally,
Okay.
we have to pay the teachers better.
Teachers welfare.
We have to pay them better. The salary we are paying them is not a living wage. A professor earning 400,000. The youth corpers I train here, go to my Facebook, I put it there. Some earn 500,000. Usually they finish from me.
I'm not sure there's any tertiary lecturer that handles.
Yeah.
Forgive me.
Yeah. So we are unfair to teachers. They also have bills to pay. They have their children to send to school. They also want to live well in retirement. But their attention is divided sometimes because what the society pays them is not enough to take them home. So for us to get better results, it's not the salary we are paying professors that we should be paying them today. It's not the salary we are paying secondary school teachers we should be paying them today. And that's why when you go to those public schools, you see that teachers combining trade with what they are doing. They have to sell shoes, some sell vegetable, some.
The passion is not there.
Yeah, the passion is not there because we are not paying them living wages.
That's well noted, sir. Sir, I want to pass one or two messages to well-to-do Nigerians like you. I know we have a lot of private initiatives in Nigeria in education, private secondary school education, private university education, but it has to be paid for. But I'm talking about an area where you bring in the less privileged to acquire, to enjoy from your own wealth, and giving them scholarships to step up, building a school where they can learn one or two things, even technology. I want you to address some well-privileged Nigerians like you on what should be done.
Well, thank you for that question. For instance, I'm picking 4 girls now on the street here. They will resume here by next. I've already identified them. I've been supporting them on the street for the past 4 years. So last week they came here to greet me. They said granite. These are 4 girls from Benue. They said on the streets. So I'm going to change them from granite podcast now to Koda for this holiday period. The reason is this.
Sir, before you go further,
yes.
What about their background? Are they up to secondary school?
They are in secondary school, but they still sell granite for their parents to feed. So once they finish school, every day I just see them. So one day I just engage them. We have to support our parents for us to get money to take to school tomorrow morning. Wow. So I've been supporting them on the street also for 3 years. But this year I decided that I'm going to bring them in there and also give them the
community
same
support.
Yes, free, 100% free for them. The reason the wealthy people must know this is that where we are going, ultimately, the final headquarters, they don't spend naira there, they don't spend dollars there, they don't spend pound sterling there. We don't need money in the headquarters.
Not even points, they don't spend there.
They don't spend points there, where all of us are headed. So, what is the purpose of keeping all those money in your bank accounts for a banker that you don't know that will enjoy it later when you are gone? So for me, it's more profitable, it brings more joy for us to spend the money while we're here for that thing that can give us joy. A lot of people, the parents I just left, I told them, I said, do you know money doesn't give anybody happiness? They said, yes, it's good. I said, so, but a lot of people don't know. Money doesn't give any happiness. Money on its own is limited in value because when you have it, the food you can eat is limited. The house you can stay is limited. Even when you have all those cars, it's only one you can ride at a time. And if you ask them to follow you in your entourage, you are happy that other people are sitting in your Rolls Royce or your Bentley. So you don't allow them to ride it, so it's bad, useless. So, and that's where Europeans have gotten it right. Europeans too behave the same way the elites in Africa are behaving, that parochial, primitive accumulation of wealth. But after about 200 years, the Europeans told themselves the truth that it's better to create a society where income disequilibrium is addressed. So in Europe today, even though it's not totally equilibrium, but the level of disequilibrium is very small. But in Nigeria today, the level of disequilibrium, income disequilibrium is very high. You see some people having billions upon billions. You can see when they said the Ministry of Humanitarian, they spent about 750 billion that they couldn't trace what they did with the money. You can see what happened within, somebody was there within a period of 4 months, about 30 billion already gone, and they can't see what they've done with the money. So for me, it's a sign of spiritual poverty that a man takes so much money that he cannot spend in 3 lifetimes.
Not even the present
Not
lifetime.
the present lifetime. I see it as it's a sign of spiritual poverty that makes a man to think that he has to accumulate all the money that he does not need. Otherwise, we don't have business with poverty in Nigeria. We are one of the, if not the most blessed nation on earth. Nigeria is one of the most blessed nations on earth. We have everything: natural resources, mineral resources, human resources, but the resources, the real wealth is in the hands of a few elite. So my challenge to the elite is that where you are headed, where every one of us is headed, they don't spend money there. So let's spend the money on the less privileged people here. And then that thing which money cannot buy, the chances are high of having it. What are the things money can buy? Money can buy good health. Money can buy sleep. Money can buy long life. It's only the grace of God that can give that.
Even with your money, you may not even sleep overnight.
No. So when the elite realize that, they will do things which money should do and which money can do, and then the reward for them is also to have things which money cannot do. Money can't give happiness. It can't give long life.
That was quite educative. Thank you so much. And my last question, so that I will let you be for today. So what do you have to tell our youth out there, the unemployed ones, so many of them on the street, looking for the jobs that are not there? What is your message to them?
Okay, one, the youth have to have positive mindset. There are so many negativity in town today, and that's why I use the opportunity I have. I have a voice now, so my Facebook, my Instagram, I use it to preach positive. I share positive news, positive things, because you cannot help someone who inside of him is already feeling defeated. That Nigeria is useless. Nigeria is not useless. So I try each time parents bring their children here, the first thing I try to purge of the kid is that negativity. So because you cannot get the best out of them until they have a positive mindset towards the country. So the first thing I want to share with the youth is that they have to develop a positive mental attitude, that everything is possible. The only challenge is that, are you ready to pay the price for your price? Your price is success. The price is cost. Are you ready to pay the cost for the crown? The price for your price? So once you are ready, then the teachers are there, the opportunities are there, the infinite hands are there. There is always willing. There is a boy, my boy, Akano. Akano is a Unilag, but I've given Akano a job since he was in part 2, and I never met the parents. Even up to that, I've never met Akano's father. But the mother testimony said, "Mr. every day we pray for you in our house." Akano just walk in here during COVID, and said, "Sir, I have this skill of building website. So I've seen your personal website, teamaccount.com. I think I can do something better." And I said, "Okay, take the laptop." So he did the laptop, he took the laptop and he built a brand new website for me. He said, "What?" I said, "Yes." "Where are you?"
Impressed.
He said, "Yeah, I'm so much impressed." "Where are you?" He said, "I'm in Unilag." "What are you studying?" "Mechanical engineering." "Which part?" I said, "Part 2. He said, "Okay, I'll give you a job. I don't need to be coming to me or rising. You just work remotely. Since the skill you have, you can work remotely." Iken has been working in New Rising since was part 2. If you go to my Facebook, it's there. And it's earning money. So his parents don't have to struggle again. Yes, since part 2. And I don't know his father up till today.
Wow.
I've never met his parents. But on his own, he came. So for him to have left his house, he has a positive mindset that today I'm going out, I'm going to meet my love. And he struggled to see me.
You must have conducted some research to get to know him.
Most likely. So for everything is possible for the youth. So they have to remove negative thoughts, and they have to reduce the time they spend on social media. The youth spend too much time on social media. Social media for negative things is killing a lot of our youths. So they have to use social media for good. So in China today, they've restricted social media time to 3 hours.
Okay, how?
For the kids.
How?
It's a national policy and they preach it.
Are they going to seize their phone?
No, they won't say, but they are telling the parents that don't allow your kid to stay more than 3 hours on the internet. Because our kids can't read books again.
They don't even like touching books.
They don't like touch, and there is nowhere they are going if it's only TikTok they are doing. The TikTok is not going to be the one that will give them the future. So they are just consumer of tech products. So for them to be creator of tech product that will give them money, they have to study. So China saw that their new civilization will crash if they don't stop the use from too much of internet. So in India today, it's a national policy. They are not going to arrest you, but you yourself as a parent will know that you are the one who use your hand to ruin your child if you don't follow the national policy of the state. So for me, youth opportunities are there all over. If you study data science, you can earn up to $300,000. If you are very good, you can earn up to $1 million now. There are so many courses you can do to earn a lot of money. Two, scholarships are also there. In our own days, we used to do research on scholarship. At least I've gotten a boy is leaving now. Tai Amadu is leaving for Portugal by next week. He's also one of my mentees. It's 100% scholarship he got in Portugal. But it's true research. Faith is in South Korea now. She got 100%. Faith, they sent ticket from South Korea. The accommodation to her. The accommodation is free for 2 years. Food is free for 2 years. Hostel is free for 2 years. Books are free for 2 years. All these are there. The only condition South Korea is looking for is that you must be able to speak the language. And Faith learned the language during the NYSC in this office here. So there are so many opportunities for you to excel. And there are also some good individuals who also help. Once you raise your hand, you see some good individuals who are willing to help you to become that which you want to become. So, but first, nobody wants to help a failure. So you must first be committed to success. Once you are committed to success, beyond the sky is the limit.
At this beautiful junction, I would like to say thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. I do appreciate your time, your effort, and your contribution to the community. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thanks for coming.